We tend to navigate crises using the tools we've spent years accumulating. When a problem arises, the natural reflex is to rely on our own physical strength, our bank accounts, or our social standing as a shield against the world. In ancient Hindu lore, this total self-reliance is personified by Gajendra. He is a massive white elephant king, the undisputed apex of the earthly realm. He moves with the absolute confidence of a creature that has never known a true rival. He leads a vast, loyal herd through the mountains, exercising total environmental dominance through sheer size. That illusion of safety evaporates when a prehistoric crocodile named Makara shatters the surface of the water and clamps onto Gajendra's leg. This predator operates by a set of rules that Gajendra's status cannot influence. Size and social hierarchy are irrelevant in the water. The king is suddenly trapped in a physical reality his earthly power never prepared him for. The ensuing battle lasts for 1,000 celestial years. It is a grueling stalemate between animal strength and cold, unrelenting malice. This graph maps the inevitable outcome. We see the decline of earthly assets as Gajendra's muscles fatigue and his herd leaves the shore. Meanwhile, the currents of time remain constant. This widening gap represents a mathematical impossibility. Finite physical endurance cannot beat infinite time. When every metric of physical supremacy has been exhausted, and pushing harder only leads to faster depletion, the standard survival strategy reaches a dead end. Doubling down on physical effort against a systemic, infinite problem is a recipe for collapse. It leads to a state where the only remaining move is to stop fighting the problem with the same ego that failed to solve it. Gajendra eventually reaches a state of total depletion. He is alone, half submerged in a blood-red lake, with no remaining allies and no path to victory. The king finally experiences the collapse of his identity. His status as a ruler and his pride in his strength vanish, replaced by the simple reality of a creature facing its end. He has reached the floor of self-reliance. Every earthly asset has been stripped away, leaving only the core consciousness beneath the titles. With his final shred of energy, Gajendra reaches upward. He plucks a single golden lotus from the murky water and holds it toward the sky. He directs a prayer to Lord Narayana, the architect of the universe. He ignores the crocodile entirely, shifting his focus from the immediate predator to the cosmic source of all life. In this model, the flow of grace is triggered only when the ego hits the absolute floor of the gauge. The removal of self-will creates the vacuum necessary for a different kind of power to enter the system. The perspective shifts to Vaikuntha, a realm of absolute, timeless stillness that exists far beyond the reach of earthly storms. The moment the prayer reaches this realm, the atmosphere changes. Lord Narayana reacts with a speed that defies the laws of physics. The peaceful deity becomes an active force of intervention, hurtling through the stars and nebulae to reach the earthly plane in an instant. He breaks through the clouds over the lake, flooding the dark, stormy environment with a blinding white light. Narayana releases the Sudarshana Chakra. This spinning cosmic disk severs the connection between predator and prey, ending a 1,000-year struggle in a single second. Cosmic intervention operates on a plane where time and physical limits do not apply. It rushes in to fill the space only once the human ego has completely stepped aside. The lake becomes perfectly still, the storm vanishes, and Gajendra walks out of the water with his wounds healed and his strength restored. He bows his head to the ground, acknowledging a power far greater than his own previous royalty. The lesson Narayana imparts is that the king's earthly strength had to fail. The collapse of his own power was the necessary prerequisite for discovering the divine strength that had always been available. This narrative reframes how we view adversity. Divine grace is not a tool to be used for our own earthly ambitions. It is a force that begins where our own abilities end. The ultimate refuge is found at the moment of total surrender. True grace requires the courage to finally let go.